Hey guys, welcome to First Time Mom Mistakes. My name is Kathy, and I am here to talk to you about everything to do with becoming a new mom. No fancy makeup, no fancy effects, just me keeping it real with you for 10 minutes every day. So, today I'd like to talk about the hospital bag. Now, I've done a previous video about the hospital bag and your hospital stay, but I felt like the bag deserves a lot more detail than what I gave in that video. So, here it goes. I will link that previous video in the description below in case you find that helpful as well. So, hospital bag. To get things started, this was my hospital bag. Now, it's pretty gigantic, as you can tell. This was definitely big enough to fit everything in. It has this awesome side pocket that's separate where you can put your shoes and your slippers. So, this was a big selling point for me. You can find a lot of these on Amazon. They come in many different colors. So just go ahead and shop around and find what you like. So what goes in the bag? I did a lot of research on this, and you can certainly read many articles and get advice to take everything from chocolate cake to your favorite video game with you, and it's completely up to you. But what about the basics? That's really what I wanted to understand. What is the minimum that you need? So that's what I'm here to talk about today. So there are five categories that I feel like you need to take with you. The first is your basic 3 night hotel stay supplies. So, whatever that means to you. The second thing is going to be your comfort goods. So, what is going to get you through your labor in the most comfortable way possible? The third thing is entertainment. Again, that's very personal. The fourth thing is baby supplies. And again, I'll talk about that a little bit later, but not very many unless your hospital is not going to provide any. And the fifth, pretty important part is your snacks to get your partner through this entire process. So, 3 night hotel stay supplies. You'll, of course, need your toiletries, so your toothbrush, toothpaste, shampoo, and body wash. I did wash my hair about, I think, a day after labor, and it just felt so great. Of course, you'll need your hair dryer if you're gonna wash your hair. It's pretty cold in the room, so you probably don't want to sit around with wet hair. And then in terms of clothes, again, this is highly personal, but what I took with me was a pretty light robe. So this is a robe from Seraphine Maternity. I do want to mention something about this. So initially, I was thinking of taking a pretty heavy robe with me, and then I read that you actually don't need a heavy robe, and I found out why after labor. So normally, the type of person that I am, I get cold very easy. Generally in the fall, if my husband and I are walking around, I'll be in a sweatshirt and pants, and he'll be in like this t-shirt and shorts. Well, during labor, in the labor room and then in the recovery room, I did not feel any cold at all. I guess your body just starts burning up, so keep that in mind. And then that continues after labor. And my husband was freezing for the first time ever. So definitely advise your partner to take warmer clothes with them, but you shouldn't need any warm clothes. So a pretty light robe, and then just some nightgowns. So I had this maternity nightgown that's good for breastfeeding, and then I also, just to give myself some options, I had another maternity nightgown, again, just good for comfort and breastfeeding. So that would be pretty much it for your hotel supplies. Again, just think about what do you normally need for a 3 night hotel stay. So in terms of comfort goods, you can do a lot of things. For me, that meant a Bluetooth speaker, which really helped. So we were playing music throughout my labor, and then later, for my baby, it actually really helped her sleep in the recovery room to just have nature sounds and really soothing music playing pretty much all the time. So Bluetooth speaker, and I did do some aromatherapy oils. You can do incense, you can do a lot of things. I just kind of did the sniffing on the tissue bit, just to help me get through labor a little bit easier. And I also had the memory foam pillow, which I talked about in my other videos. I ended up sitting on that pillow really rather than laying on it or sleeping on it. So comfort goods, whatever is going to make you feel more comfortable during labor. Um, I don't know if this really falls into the comfort goods bit, but maybe more in the previous section. You do need your walking socks. So these were mine. I will link these in the description below. They came as an exercise ball, like one of those prenatal exercise balls. You can get them separate as well, and slippers. That's really something that you need during labor. The hospital did provide me with some walking socks, but they just kept slipping off, so they were not comfortable at all. And then, so in the next section, entertainment, you will only need entertainment if you're getting an epidural. You can forget about entertainment if you're not going to be getting an epidural. Now, I would still bring it with you because, for example, I was planning on having all natural birth and I ended up getting an epidural. So for me, entertainment was just my cell phone, charger, headphones, and then just playing Netflix. The stupidest happy movies I could find because really I couldn't focus on anything at that time. Okay, so your baby supplies. Now check with your hospital. Our hospital supplied all the diapers, the swaddles, um, hats. They just had a lot of things, of course, wipes and all of that. But I have heard that maybe hospitals started cutting back after COVID, so double check on that. If they provide all of those things, what you really need is just the car seat installed in your car and then the going home outfit. So for the going home outfit, you just need a simple onesie like this, very cute, um, and then just little pants and little socks. Um, Everything really depends on weather. If your hospital provides hats, so this is a hat that I got from the hospital, you might not need one, or you might want to get one and bring one with you. I would advise against probably one of these kind of sleep and plays if you don't live in a cold climate. So we live in a warmer climate and babies tend to get really warm in the car, so it it's much better to just have them dressed lightly and then just cover them with a blanket or something if they seem cold, rather than if they're strapped in the car seat and then you can't undress them and they're getting too warm at that point. So that's something to keep in mind. Also, the advice that I got before packing my bag that was really useful is take both newborn size and 0 to 3 months, because no matter what they tell you during all the testing, they don't actually know the true size of your baby until the baby comes out. So you might need the newborn size, you might need 0 to 3 months. So just keep that in mind. And last but not least, the snacking supplies for your partner. So for us, there's no refrigeration or anything provided, right, in the labor room and the recovery room. So it meant snacks that did not need to be refrigerated but were actually filling, actually gave you energy. So beef jerky was one for us, as well as any kind of nut bars, and dried fruit. But again, it's all up to you. So that about covers it for the hospital bag. If you guys have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer with more detail. um, I do want to actually, before I go, mention one thing. This is not going to necessarily apply to you, but one crucial thing for me personally that was missing was baby formula. So your hospital will probably have emergency baby formula on hand, but we were very, very particular about what we wanted our baby to take in those first few weeks of their life. And quite frankly, I'll do another video on this, but I was not prepared to feed formula at all. I was getting ready to breastfeed, and the breastfeeding did not go as easily as we planned. And again, I will cover that in a separate video because it's a very long story. But basically, there were a lot of tears and a lot of stress related to the fact that the hospital staff told us we needed to start supplementing, basically giving our baby formula before we ever left the hospital, and we couldn't get our hands on a healthy formula brand that we were willing to feed the baby. So if you, even if you are planning on breastfeeding, if you're very particular about what you think your baby should have, I would definitely have a minimum supply at least of one of those ready-made baby formulas. They come in bottles, that you can feed the baby. Or alternatively, you can even bring like one of those travel kettles, and then just some clean water, and then the powder formula, so you can make it there really. And then bottles, etc., if you really want to be that prepared. But that was a really, really crucial thing that I wish we would have had prepared ahead of time. Another item that was just nice to have, not necessary, that I didn't have, was a pumping bra. Again, I never thought about it because I was not going to pump. I was going to breastfeed. Well, surprise, surprise, the hospital staff told me I had to start pumping the first night, after giving birth to my baby. So I did not have a pumping bra, which made the whole pumping process pretty uncomfortable because then you have to hold the pump. So I'll link this in the description below, but there's many different brands of pumping bras. That's a nice to have item. If you end up not needing it, and you breastfeed, you really can use it in that way as well, because it comes with all these attachments, right? So you can just use it to breastfeed as well, and it's a comfortable bra. So that's truly it for the hospital bag. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, please subscribe, and I will see you again tomorrow.